I'm a people person. I love people.
Yeah, I'm a nice person.
I'm honestly like really laid back and like pretty chill.
I'm a goofy kid, I'll admit that.
I'm friendly.
And I'm willing to help everyone and hear anyone out.
I'm not the angry black woman. And not that even if I was, it's not a problem.
So if you've seen one person who was passionate, then another person might translate that to being angry. And there's so many images out there of people of color that limit and restrict and that people rely on instead of having encounters with.
I would say also I've been told I talk white a lot. That's before ASU, just forever.
People would always say, Nard, you're the whitest black person I ever met.
You must not be like full black because you don't act like a black girl.
When I tell people, I'm here on scholarship, they say, oh, you play basketball? And I'm like, well, I mean, I do play basketball, but that's not why I got my scholarship. I got my scholarship for academic purposes.
I think when you only focus on media, you get a sense of, okay, this is what a black person should look like, what a black person should sound like. If you were to actually go out and meet 100, 200 different black people, you'd realize there's 100 and 200 different ways to be black.
This wasn't here, but I remember in school, it was like my first day of class, and I think I walked into a world history class. My teacher was like, oh, we're doing like this rapping about like world history assignment. And I was like, oh, okay, like, that's cool. So I like sat down and the girls were like, oh, I'm sure you can help us with this. And I was like,
So when I was younger and I came to Arizona, when we were talking about African American history and everybody was staring at me and like asking me questions. I'm not the teacher, I'm a student, I'm just trying to learn too.
There are so many people that I was surprised that haven't heard or haven't personally known someone who went through something. So they think, some things are just like in the past.
When topics come up, this is in the classroom, anything related to African Americans, all the students, the professor will turn to an African American student and expect them to sort of have something to say. What strikes me about this is a couple things. That one, I think people somehow assume there's some sort of newsletter that all African Americans receive, that this is going to be their sort of insights and they're going to be able to have all this knowledge. If you're talking about African American history, African American studies, or issues of African American culture, those are scholarly subjects. I mean, I spent my life reading books, reading articles to get up to speed on what it means to teach African American history. When I was 12, 13, 14, I didn't know those things.
But when I came to ASU and I took Intro to African American Studies, we went in class and there was one class that was focused on the life of Emmett Till. And that story was so, I walked out of there crying that day. I don't know, it's so shocking. And there are a lot of, stories from Black history really that people don't know about.
I definitely don't think that it should just be limited to 1 month.
It wasn't until I got into college where I engaged in events that are for celebrating the month.
And I don't understand why it's not taught more in elementary and middle school, because I feel like if it was, I'd actually be a little bit more interested in history.
I guess get to know me, don't just judge me by how I look, but really get to know and understand me.
If we recognize, first of all, our shared humanity, then I think that's a way of sort of moving beyond these sort of notions and categories of people because it's convenient, not necessarily because it's true or even accurate.